a nice little Fiji.
My rule when you go from polar to rectangular equations is that you put it into something that somebody else can recognize. Some teachers teach this as just get rid of your r's and thetas and you're done. So, whatever. One of the easiest ways to get rid of r's is to create an r squared. So in this case, if I square both sides, I end up with r squared equals 25. Now if you go back to that box where it had the triangle, it had the x equals r cosine, y equals r sine, or y equals r sine. The reason why you want to create r squared is because that can be substituted now into x squared plus y squared. Does anybody recognize that equation? What is it? What is this? What is it? Circle. Radius 5. Center. 0, 0. Now if you think about what r equals 5 is, in the polar mode, you'd go to the fifth ring and you would just draw a circle. R equals 5. Mode. Again, if you just pay attention, if it can be in degree or radian mode, it doesn't matter. Let's just go degree mode. But I'm going to go to polar mode now. And notice that it's r equals instead of y equals. So I'm going to clear that out and just say 5. And when I go look at my window, because I'm in degree mode, I'm going to go 0 to 360 by, let's say, 10 degrees. And I'm on negative 10 to 10 window. So it draws a circle. Now it looks more elliptical because of our screens. You know, we have kind of a wide angle screen, so if you wanted to, you can hit zoom square to kind of square up the window and it'll make it more circular. But this is really our third mode on the calculator for this exam. You'll use function mode, parametric mode, and the polar mode.
I'm getting an invalid.
Okay. Theta equals power of 4. There are different ways you can do this, but so what can we do with theta equals power of 4? We want to try and get rid of the theta and introduce x's and y's. What's that? We could do the tangent on both sides. So I end up with the tangent of theta is equal to, what's the tangent of power of 4? Tangent of power of 4 is 1. So I applied a tangent on both sides, and now I'm looking at the tangent of theta is equal to 1. What's another way to write tangent? Go back to that square. What's another way to write tangent?
Y over x.
Now, does anybody in here recognize that equation?
No.
No, so this one we would put into y equals mode. So I would multiply by x on both sides. And what do you recognize about that?
Linear.
Linear, slope, 1, intercept, 0. I said the easiest way to get rid of an r was to create r squared. How can you create r squared here?
X squared plus y squared.
Divide by 4.
I could square both sides. But creating cosine squared of theta doesn't really help me. So in this time, I'm going to multiply both sides by r. R squared equals 4r cosine of theta. Now when you multiply by r on the right hand side, it doesn't matter what order you multiply in. I'm going to help you out by showing you, put it here. So what can we do in this problem? R squared is x squared plus y squared. What's r cosine of theta? X. Absolutely not. R squared equals x squared plus y squared. So, yes. So, I'm going to bring the 4x to this side. The negative 4. I take that, I divide by 2, I get negative 2. I square it, and I get 4. When I add 4 here, I add 4 over there. So my final answer is x minus 2 quantity squared plus y squared is equal to 4. What is that? I didn't go too fast. That's just complete the square. What is that? What?
Circle.
It's a circle. Radius 2. Center shifted to the right 2, but not up enough. So the center's at 2, 0. So your center is 2, 0 with an R of 2. Now how can we check that? Well, let's go back to this 4 cosine of theta. I'm in 4 cosine. When I hit the variable button, I'm in polar mode, so it puts the theta in there. Does that look like a circle shifted to the right 2 with radius 2?
Yes.
So that's what it is.
You can do it more.
Well, just do it. Stick it to the man.
All I did is take the 1 plus sine of theta and multiply it. So I basically got rid of the fractions in the problem. I can distribute that r now. So I have r plus r sine of theta is equal to 2. What's r sine of theta?
Why?
So r plus y is equal to 2. Now when I subtract y back to the other side, so it seems like we kind of spin our wheels for a little bit. But by doing that, now I have something that I can square both sides. Okay? So if I square both sides, I get r squared equals 2, oh boy, 2 squared is 4. Negative y squared is y squared. What's my middle term? You'd have the negative 2y in the middle, negative 2y on the outside, so negative 4y. Okay? What's r squared? X squared plus y squared equals 4 minus 4y plus y squared. Okay, so that red answer right there, that one is saying all the r's and thetas are gone. We have nothing but rectangular stuff left, x's and y's. So that's normally where people would stop. But who recognizes that? What is it? You are wrong. What is it?
It's a
You're taking way too long. See, you don't.
It's a parabola.
It is a problem, but you didn't recognize it fast enough for me. So
Subtract the y.
that's the point. So y squareds are on both sides of the equation. Get rid of them. To set this up, I also reversed the order on the 4 and the y. So I'm bringing the negative 4y out to the front plus the 4. So the final answer here will be x squared. Factor out the negative 4, y minus 1. Where's the vertex? 0, 1. So in other words, we're going to shift this parabola up 1, does it open up, down, left, or right?
Down.
Because that's a -4, it's gonna go down. So let's double original equation.
2 over 1 plus
2 divided by parentheses 1 plus sine of theta. I have to close my theta thing and then close the denominator. And there's a parabola shifted up 1, opening down.